One thing about me is that I'm easily influenced. So when one of my favorite booktubers tells me to read a certain book, I do it without question. Lately, Sarah has been raving about Beartown by Fredrik Backman. So although me and the author don't have the best track record, I simply have to read it. So in this week's video, I'm gonna be reading Beartown by Fredrik Backman because Sara Carrolli told me to. So let's go to the library to pick up this book. Guys, I'm at the library. I just got done editing. It's like 6 p.m. I went outside to go see if Orangey's here. Mr. Orange, my cat that I love at the library, and he's not here, so I was so sad, but I was like, you know what? It's such a nice day. Like, let me go get a blanket, put it under the tree, right? And read my freaking book that I just got. Something bit me like 5 different times. It might still be in my shirt. So now I'm on the way home to start this book. I'm really excited, actually. The first line is already like insane, so I'm really curious to see where this goes and where we end up.
Orange is in here! Hi, Mr. Orange! You need to leave!
I have good news and I have bad news, so what do you want to hear first? Oh, I'm crazy because I'm talking to a camera? Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Okay, anyways, the bad news is, let me hold your hand when I say this. Thank you. The bad news is, I fear I might be falling into a book slump. I know, we're all sad, I know. Stop crying though. I have high hopes because I am already 17% through this book. I literally forced myself to walk 4 miles so that I would actually read, and I'm really liking it. I'm liking it so much that I almost cried 3 times. I kid you not. Read 17% through, almost cried 3 times. Let me give you a little summary about Beartown to give you some context for why I might literally be bawling my eyes out by the end of this. This book is about a small town named Beartown, obviously. And in this small town, everybody in the town is either so obsessed with ice hockey that it's psychologically ingrained in their brains so deep that they're literally throwing up and kicking their feet and like crying over it. I'm not kidding. There's already been like 2 vomit scenes because these people are so damn dedicated to this sport. Or people are literally so confused and concerned why their partners or dads or brothers or boyfriends are so obsessed with hockey. But the fixation on ice hockey makes sense because if the junior ice hockey team does well in the semifinals like they've done in the past, it's gonna put basically a spotlight on their town that shows the nation, hey, we should pay attention to these people and we should actually fund this town so we can help it grow. So the people in this town are desperate for this group of like 15-year-old to 17-year-old kids to perform well in their ice hockey games because basically the entire town is relying on it. So in this book, we're literally following like 12 different POVs of people involved in this situation in one way or another. And the reason why I keep almost crying is because Fredrik Backman is able to convey such emotional depth in so few words. I feel like even though I've only read a little bit of this book, I already know so much about so many of these characters somehow. It's honestly crazy. I'm not sure how to say his name, but the situation with Amit, oh my god. Like, that is gonna make me bawl my eyes out. I already know. And then also Kira, I think, the mom, that situation had tears like at my eyelids. I was blinking so fast at the gym trying to get them to go down. So let's just say I'm really excited to see where this goes, but I am worried about the book slump that I'm possibly approaching. So hopefully this book is able to pull me out of it, but it is about ice hockey and I truly don't care about ice hockey. So we'll see what happens, and of course I'll keep you guys updated along the way. I'm literally crying. I've been listening to the audiobook. Oh my god. I'm crying. I'm actually crying. Have I been crying? Hell no. I literally had something in my eye for the past 30 minutes while I was straightening my hair. That's all you guys saw right there. No, but actually this book is crazy. Like, I was not expecting a scene honestly that traumatizing. After you read the trigger warnings, if you still are interested in this book, I would definitely recommend it. I'm only 49% through, but I'm getting so obsessed with the people in this town that it's actually crazy. I'm feeling so many things for so many of the characters, and I was not expecting that at all. And it's truly so difficult to describe how talented Fredrik Backman actually is until you go ahead and read this book, because I marked a few scenes that had me like tearing up or had me really thinking like, wow, this is a talented author. But if I read these, I don't think they're gonna deliver the same punch that I experienced reading them, only because I have the backstory of all these characters that have caused me to react in such a way. So I'm going to read them, but keep in mind that having all of the backstory really changes the experience that these paragraphs bring. So let me just go to the first one and give you guys some context. So Maya and Kira are a daughter and mom duo, respectively. And Maya has just brought up to her mom that she's gonna go stay at her friend Anna's house so that they can do homework. But her mom knows in the back of her mind that her daughter's lying to her and that she's gonna go to a party. But she accepts it anyways because she wants her daughter to have fun and she knows what being a teenager is like. And this is the paragraph that we get about that. Her daughter is lying, of course, and her mother is lying when she pretends not to understand that. They're balancing on the defining moment in life when they're each equally concerned about the other. The teenage years offer a brief period of equality after childhood before the balance shifts and Maya becomes old enough to worry about her parents more than they do about her. Soon Maya won't be Kira's little girl anymore, and then Kira will become Miles' little old mom. It doesn't take a lot to be able to let go of your child. It takes everything. I'm literally about to cry. And I'm about to cry because up to this point, we know the depth at which Kira loves her children and loves her job and wants to be part of both of these worlds, but she's feeling like torn between the two. And we also know the struggles that Kira has had as a parent. And I'm obviously not going to spoil anything, but she's gone through some shit. So reading about a scene like that, although it's so simple, it carries so much weight when you have an understanding of these characters. Fredrik Backman is able to articulate things that so many of us feel but can't express in words. He's able to make these super small situations feel as impactful as they once did. It's so difficult to describe, but let me read another section of the book and maybe that'll convey better what I'm trying to say. In this section of the book, Benji is one of the kids on the ice hockey team and he has 3 older sisters. That's honestly all I need to say to preface this paragraph. When Benji is angry with something, he shows up at his youngest older sister Gabby's and plays with her children until he gets over it. When he wants to be quiet and think, he goes to see his eldest sister Audrey over at her kennels. But when he's feeling bruised, he comes here. I'm gonna cry again. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry again. But when he's feeling bruised, he comes here to Katya, so she pats his cheek gently instead of yelling at him. I feel like in a way you kind of do need to know Benji's backstory and the things that he's struggling with internally in order to feel the power of that paragraph. But to me, it was just so beautiful to be able to read in words just how important these connections with his older siblings are to him. Even though he doesn't necessarily express it, certain sisters provide certain comforts to him. And as an older sister, that is just so, I don't know, it's making me emotional. Okay, before I literally start bawling my eyes out, let me read another section of the book. In this section of the book, Bobo and Amit are at a party, but they're kind of the outsiders in this ice hockey group. So they're kind of unexpected friends, but they're finding so much solace in each other. Bobo nods and grins. They're 15 and 17 years old, and in 10 years' time, they'll remember this evening. Oh, I'm literally about to cry again. They're 15 and 17 years old, and in 10 years' time, they'll remember this evening when all the others were inside having a party, and they stood out here and became friends. I know that doesn't sound crazy when I read it like that, but when you have the context of Beartown, honestly, when you have the context of this whole town and how much ice hockey means to them and how much this team keeps the boys pushing forward, keeps the townspeople pushing forward, and inspires people with so much hope and also with so much trauma, and it influences the way that they behave and how they treat other people around them, it just makes the words on the page so much more impactful. So yeah, I think it's safe to say this book is definitely doing things to me emotionally, and for some reason I'm not getting a 5-star feeling, which I know is probably insane after watching me almost cry 3 times. And that's not to say that it can't become a 5-star, because I can definitely see that happening. I would say right now I'm probably at a 4.5, and a lot of that I think has to do with the fact that I do still feel like slumpy. So that's why whenever I showed you guys the clip of me straightening my hair, I was listening to the audiobook because I honestly couldn't get myself to pick the book up, but the audiobook saved me and it got me reinvested in the story, because although I'm not obsessed with hockey, I am obsessed with this town. So of course I'll update you guys if I have anything more to say, but for now I'm gonna sign off and I'll probably see you guys when I finish the book.
So much more, Pumpkin. Much, much more. It's funny that a 10-year-old nickname, Pumpkin, is the thing that does that.
I've officially finished Beartown by Fredrik Backman. Honestly, all thanks to the audiobook. I have been struggling to read, but I listened to like 5 hours of the audiobook today and I was able to finish the book. So that is an accomplishment. I absolutely understand why Sara Carrolli gave this book a 5 stars. It was truly a great reading experience. But before I give my final rating, I do want to give some concluding thoughts. In the end, this book really isn't about ice hockey. It's about the human experience, and I know that's a huge claim to make, but this book truly encompasses so many unique life experiences, complex traumas, bonds, family relationships, and feelings in a way that's so representative of such a variety of people, whether or not they directly relate to the circumstances explained in the book. And that to me at least, is truly indicative of a great author, because he was basically able to convince me that all of the people in this town were real human beings with complex pasts and a deep understanding of the world and how they move in it. So that was really fun and impactful to read about. In my last update, I did say that I wasn't getting 5-star feelings, and that was still true for the remainder of the book. So I've decided that I'm going to be rating Beartown a 4.5 out of 5 stars because it was an incredible read, but along with me not getting 5-star feelings, I also didn't love the concluding scene, only because the entire book we kind of felt like we were building up to this huge crescendo, but it ultimately didn't deliver what I was expecting it to. It didn't feel like the peak that we reached was fulfilled to the extent that I thought it would be. We were reading such emotionally impactful, punchy lines and experiences throughout the book that I expected the end to deliver that same punch, but for me personally it didn't. So that's why I'm going to give this book a 4.5 stars, which is still an incredible rating, especially coming from me. I'm such a harsh critic. I just know now after reading the book that Fredrik Backman is so capable of delivering an emotionally like gut punching moment that I was expecting that at the end and I didn't get it. So that's why I ultimately am not giving this book a perfect score, but I would absolutely recommend this book, especially to people that like literary fiction already, but primarily to people who are interested in reading about books that feel very, very real and human. And maybe even to people that aren't literary fiction readers but would like to get into it. I feel like this is a really, really good introduction into the space because Fredrik Backman is able to take such complex, huge emotional feelings and turn them into something that's easily digestible. So I think most readers would probably find something in there that they love. So those are my concluding thoughts about this book. I'm so grateful to Sara Carrolli to have found this recommendation through her, because otherwise I probably wouldn't have picked up a book like this, but I'm happy that I did. So was it a good idea to give Fredrik Backman a second chance? Absolutely. So thank you to Sara for putting this book on my radar, and thank you to Fredrik Backman for writing such an incredible book. If you guys like this video, consider giving it a like, and if you like me, consider subscribing. I hope to see you in my next video, because if you're not here, I literally might be crying, and then that's gonna be super awkward because all my other viewers are gonna be like, why are you crying? And I'm gonna be like, oh my god, that one person wasn't here, and then it's just gonna be like really weird, so just come back, okay? Bye!